Well, baseball's always been the love of my life. The thing I wanted to do was play Major League Baseball. And Mickey Mantle was always my idol. I wore number 7 from when I started playing Little League when I was 9 years old all the way through college. I wasn't good enough, and I had to go find a job.
He couldn't hit a curveball. Instead of becoming a professional athlete, he became a very professional heart surgeon.
Kent Jones holds a unique position in cardiac surgery, certainly in Utah, if not throughout the nation, because he is one of the few surgeons that started when cardiac surgery was really in its infancy. He trained under the people that kind of invented it, David Sabiston and the other early pioneers at Duke. He has a career that spanned that beginning, the flourishing middle age of cardiac surgery, now the avant-garde, the very new things that we're doing, and he's been at the forefront of that all along.
Kent Jones was my partner for many years and also my friend. We were both brought into the Russell M. Nelson group. Heart transplantation was a long time coming from its first operations. I said, Kent, you were the one that was hoping to get this started, and I'm still there for you. So he went and he talked to our senior partner, who was now an apostle of the church. And Elder Nelson asked him, how bad do you want to do this? I want to do it a lot. He said, well then, do it.
This was, treading on unknown ground. The thing about heart transplantation is we knew at that time how to do the procedure, but we didn't know how to keep that heart alive, so to speak, or how to prevent it from being rejected.
So he went out to Stanford and talked to them and figured out what they were doing that was helping them be successful, and we did it. And it was good. At one time, we were the busiest heart transplant team west of the Mississippi. Really busy, even busier than Stanford.
We felt we owed the community the opportunity to have a high-quality transplant program, but we had to assure that first transplant and subsequent would be as good as if they went to Stanford. Kent Jones takes on new ventures when he believes it has an opportunity to make things better, but doesn't do it if he doesn't believe in it. And he has been a pioneer in many areas over these many years. And when people have confidence in the captain of this large team, that they are consistent and they trust their judgment and their skills, miracles can happen. And that's what I see, whether it's a heart transplant, bypass surgery, valve surgery, or some of these newer advanced procedures.
At that time, an aortic valve replacement carried about a 25% mortality. Mitral valve the same. It was a very high-risk operation.
Under the leadership of Brian Wisenant and Kent Jones, Intermountain Heart Institute has been a pioneer in the newer valve procedures that can be performed using catheter deployment of these valves, called TAVR, transcatheter aortic valve replacement.
So the way it's performed is there is a valve that's actually crimped onto a catheter, which is about the size of this pen. Then that catheter is placed in the patient's femoral artery, down in the groin. Catheter tracks up through the aorta, comes around the top, and then that valve is positioned right within their own native valve. We don't actually take their worn out valve out, we leave it there. And then, with the heart kind of quiet, we take a balloon and expand that valve up within their own valve, and it dislodges off the catheter and seats within the native aortic valve. It does that by pressure. The balloon expands that little metal cage that holds the valve. So when this technology came out, Kent Jones said, I'm going to be the one that's going to carefully assess this for our group, for our hospital. And that's a good scientist. You'll hear him say, wow, that's really cool. I can't believe we can do this. He's pretty succinct in his words, and when he says something's cool, it usually is.
What's remarkable is some of these people have come into this hospital in a wheelchair, on oxygen, can't walk 3 steps without getting short of breath, and the next day they walk out of this hospital fully recovered and able to get back to normal life. To us that have seen the progression of this technology, it's a miraculous procedure. Any patient who comes into this facility will have the best outcomes in this country. And Kent's foresight to be involved with this from the beginning, since around 2009, has made this such a successful program.
He wants to save lives and make a difference, and he's done that for a long time now. If you think about how incredible that is, that every day you get to go make a difference in someone's life, that's a pretty